Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this video on it's subtracting fractions where you need to rename, okay? So if we look here, we have 1 3/8 minus 5/8. So we know 1 3/8. I can't subtract 5/8 because 3 is greater than 5, right? So what I have to do is I need to rename this 1 3/8. So I'm going to break up that 1 3/8 and I'm going to say, well, that whole is 8/8. How do I know that whole is 8/8? Because I'm looking at the common denominator that I have in this equation. So that 1 whole becomes 8/8, and then I have the 3/8 with it. So 1 whole and 3/8 gives me my 11/8. Now, can I subtract 5/8? Now I can. So 11/8 minus 5/8 equals 6/8. And that is my answer for this problem. Okay? Now, let's look at the next one. Here we have 1 1/4 minus 3/4. So you have to ask yourself, can I subtract my 1/4 minus 3/4? When you see the 1/4 minus 3/4, you can't subtract 1 minus 3. So the next thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at my denominators. My denominators here are 4, so I know both fractions are split up into fourths. So I am going to rename my 1 whole here. My 1 whole is going to be renamed, sorry about that, is going to be renamed 4/4. All right, so that's my 1 whole, and I had 1/4, so 4/4 plus that 1/4 together gives me 5/4. So now I have 5/4 minus the 3/4 in that original problem. So the 5/4 minus the 3/4 gives us 2/4. We know we're just subtracting straight across here because I could subtract 5 minus 3 equals 2, and my denominators stay the same, okay? You do not subtract your denominators when you have them in a fraction. Now we look at one last example here. We have 1 4/6. I'm going to subtract 5/6. So I'm going to say to myself, can I do 4/6 minus 5/6? I can't, because I can't do 4 minus 5. So I'm going to take my 1 whole and I'm going to change that. So I have 1 whole. What can I exchange that for? What could I rename that 1 whole? I noticed here that my denominators are 6. So I'm going to rename my 1 whole into 6/6. 6/6 is the same, has the same exact value as 1 whole. So 6/6, and I had 4/6 with it. So I'm going to add those together. I'm going to combine them. 6/6 and 4/6 gives me 10/6. Now, 10/6, I can now subtract 5/6 from it. What is 10/6 minus 5/6? And that gives you 5/6. Okay? So really, what I'm doing right here before I'm subtracting is I'm taking a mixed number and I'm going to convert it into an improper fraction. So really, what I'm doing here, if you saw that I had, I apologize, if I had 1 2/5, okay, what am I doing by changing that 1 whole, exchanging that 1 whole into 5/5, and then adding my 2/5 to it? What do I get? 7/5. So 7/5 is equivalent to 1 2/5 because 1 2/5 is a mixed number And 7/5 is an improper fraction. Okay? Now, if you've gotten to the end of this video, what I can show you, which we have mentioned in class, is turning a mixed number into an improper fraction. I can also, if I'm doing 1 2/5, we said in class was the swoop around method, all right? The swoop around method is, let's start with my denominator, multiply it by the whole number, and then add my numerator and keep your denominator. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Keep your denominator. It's the swoop around method. So the swoop around method here for 1 4/5 would be start at 5, multiply it by 1, add 4. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Keep your denominator. And you would have 9/5. Okay? That is the same thing that we did over here by renaming the whole into a fraction. All right? So I hope this video helped.